All right, hey Lisa. So this is your individual action plan based on goals and then just some action steps that I'm going to recommend to you in terms of what I think you should be focusing on and doing in order to hit the goals that you have here in the Momentum Mastermind. So what I've done here is I've broken down for you your these are some of your stats. So I'm going to go over each of these and then we'll kind of dive into my recommendations for you. And then we'll wrap up with your action steps and your focuses based on all of this. Um, so the goals that you set out here in the mastermind that you gave me is that you wanted to get more qualified leads on the phone, that you wanted to make consistent 10K months, have consistent sales calls that convert at 80%, grow your list by 5,000 engaged people, get your clients amazing results so that you can increase your referrals, be seen as the go-to person in your niche, so that you can just be more influential online, and have a high converting sales page for Q2 launch, and then get 10 people into your $1997 program in February, or you could get 5 in the program and 2 in your one-on-one. So those are the goals that you kind of listed out that you wanted to accomplish, that you want to see happen here in Momentum Mastermind. Now, over here, I've listed out your stats. Okay, these are just numbers and these are facts. So this is what we've got to work with. So current monthly income is 1,500, and this has been shown to increase for you on a pretty steady basis. So that's awesome. That means that you're doing obviously things right. Right now you're working 35 to 40 hours a week, and I think on average, and I think in some of the recommendations we can cut that down. I don't think you should be working that much, especially for $1,500 a month. So no way. That your hours need to be like cut in half, and I think some of the recommendations that I'm going to give you are going to do that. Okay, so you have 1,700 on your email list. I think at one point you had 2,000, so maybe we got some unsubscribes through some nurturing maybe. Correct me on this if I'm wrong somewhere. 8 current clients, 13 past buyers, 13 people on a wait list, 10 people that you think are a good fit, 5 affiliates, and then you have a 10% to 15% average open rate and a 2% to a 30% click-through rate. And again, going this high on the 30% was because you had said that some of them are specific based trainings. So meaning, if people opt into something, those open and click-through rates are going to be much higher than your average main list. But in any case, these are really good. These are really good. So we got to work with this. Okay. All right. So the final stats based on these numbers, your profit possibility, is that you currently have 20 buyers on your email list. Your total profit possibility is $19,940. So that's $9,970 a month if we broke that down. And that's if you're selling your Online Biz Clarity 8-week program at $997. So that's where we came up with those. This is just one program, and this is just looking at, what could happen with just that one program based on what you have to work with. All right, so now let's go to this little thing here. I wanted to just share this, and I've talked about this before, so you may have seen it, but I've given you some personalized suggestions. So there's 3 ways that any business owner can increase their revenue. So I know you want to get up to that 10K month, and there's 3 ways to do that. We can do all of these, we can do some more than others, but in any business, like, these are the 3 ways. What we have here first is that you can increase your prices. Okay, this is one of obviously the fastest ways to increase your revenue without having to do more work, right? If you increase your prices, then you don't have to have as many sales, so you don't need to work as hard to hit your income goals. So really the goal with this is that the less that we charge, the more sales that we need, and more work we have to put in, right? So if we just increase our prices, we need less sales, and that's less effort. So some recommendations or thoughts that I gave you was that you could increase both of your group programs from the $997 to maybe $2,000 and offer a payment plan. And this would result in you not needing as many sales, okay? It could be $497 if they just want the training without access to you, right? So if you want to give people an option where they can do like on your sales page or something they could do a VIP, which means you're going to get access to the program, but you also get some access to me so I can support you along the way. Or you can just get like the self-study and there's no access to me. Okay, and this is going to increase your sales because it's similar to the strategy I use when I do 3 offers on my sales calls instead of 1, because it increases my sales because I'm giving them more options instead of saying, do you want this one thing, yes or no? Instead, I'm saying, here's a few options. Which one do you want? And they always end up choosing something. So again, to just increase your prices and or give more options, right? And then you could throw in some bonuses for the people that want to go with the $997 or the $2,000 or whichever. Okay, your signature group program, you can increase that price to $2,000 or $3,700 and then offer a payment plan option, bonuses. You could even gift them into your monthly tag club, or you could just gift them into it while they're in your program. And then after that, if they want to continue and stay in there, then they could start paying the $97 a month. That's just to try to utilize this $97 offer, and also just to get people into it and then keep them into something, right? While when other programs end. You could also put this $97 offer on a sales page, a thank you page, or in your email funnels as well, just to kind of maximize it. If you're going to offer a low ticket like that, like each and every month, the way that these are successful is a lot of traffic. If you don't have very much traffic, if you're not funneling a lot of traffic into it, you're not really going to be able to keep enough people in this type of it's almost like a membership, and memberships are not money makers unless your business model is all around membership sites. Okay, like screw the 9 to 5. Jen and Josh and Jill are like, that is their business. Their membership is like every single thing they do in their business is about that membership, and their offer is the membership. Like, that's what they based their 5 years of being in business on. So just being friends with them and being able to kind of talk with them about that. Memberships like this are not people come in them and then they go right out. So the retention rate is really low unless that's what you're building your business model around and you're constantly funneling people in there. The other thing with this type of thing, this type of offer or this business model, is that people come into this for the trainings initially, but they stay for the community. So, Josh and Jill, like, people don't even really care about their trainings. They do, but they don't. They stay in this package month after month after month. So their retention is really high because people are staying there because they want the community. The community is awesome, and that's why they stay, right? It's not for the training. So if you're not really building up that massive, engaged, like super high value driven community where you're given lots of great content every month, like if that's not your core focus, it's going to be really hard to keep that retention high, and you're just going to find that there's barely anybody in there, there's nothing really happening in terms of engagement or community, and that you're constantly trying to funnel people into it. So I just want to I wanted to go on that a little bit for a minute to really just elaborate that this type of business model or this type of offer, it's a lot of work for very little. Okay, and your business model is not geared around this. So I just want to put that out there, that it may or may not be, I'll just say in here too, that this may or may not be worth your efforts or time. So you'll just have to consider that. That's totally up to you. I just wanted to, make sure that I gave you, my thoughts on that, for you to just kind of consider that. Okay. All right, so the next, hold on here, I don't want to do that. So the next thing here, that I wanted to talk about was going to be increasing your volume. So this is really the whole goal around this is that the more people you have access to, then the more profit you have, like the more profit possibility that you have. And you know this because I talk about it all the time. But increasing your volume on a very consistent basis is going to allow you to continue to have a consistent, steady stream of income. Because here's the bottom line. Anybody can make money. We can all go out and sell a few things, sell a couple programs, fill a few spots. But to keep it consistent and also increasing without having to work like double our efforts or work more, is going to come down to these three things. Like you have to be doing these things, but definitely these top two. The third one is more effort. It is more work. It's more time. It's you manually doing more. But these first two, increasing your prices and increasing your volume, this is going to keep consistency, but it's going to decrease the amount of effort and work and time that you have to put in. So I want you to put a lot of focus on these two things. So what this would look like for you is grow your list. I know you want to get to 5,000 engaged people on your email list. So you've got to put a huge focus and priority on getting your list size up, right? We'll talk about that a little bit here too. Increase your engagement. So the more engaged that people are, the more that's going to increase your chances of sales, of them buying from you. I'm going to talk about that in the recommendations as well. And then increase your social media community. So most of us are using social media as like this main outlet to build our business, to connect with other people in our community. So we're going to have to increase whatever that's looking like right now. Then we have increase your collaborations and your publicity opportunities, which I know you're already doing this. You are already doing collaborations. You're already getting yourself out there. You're already doing some publicity. Like you're already doing some of this. We want to up it. We want to make this a huge focus. So I talk about this a lot where I don't typically have to do Facebook ads. Actually, I've never had to do Facebook ads. I've played with them and tested them maybe 3 or 4 times the whole 15 years I've been in business. I've built my community, my income, my business, and my email list, and all of it organically just through 90% is Facebook, and just equally to that has been collaborations. Those have been my 2 core focuses for 15 years. Facebook and collaborations. And when I say Facebook, I'm talking Facebook groups, my own Facebook group, other people's groups, just being engaged online and showing up every day, and then collaborations. Combining that activity and that visibility and that value with putting myself in front of other experts and leaders and creating collaboration opportunities. Also publicity, being, writing for Huffington Post, being featured on other people's podcasts and blogs and online magazines, places where I know my people are at, things that I know my people are reading or checking out or subscribing to. Like I want to put myself in those places. So that has been that, and just using Facebook, social media, and then obviously really maintaining that list that I build, right? Nurturing them and taking good care of them and selling to them and stuff like that. Those are like my core focuses. I don't really worry too much about much else. If I'm doing funnels, I delegate that out to my team. If I want to do any sort of like leveraged opportunities or automation or things like that, my team does that stuff. I focus on these core relationship building type stuff because these have naturally and organically built my list, built my business, and increased my revenue massively. All right, the third one is to increase the frequency. So this is where there's more time, more effort on your part, because it's where you're going to ask for more sales, you're going to show up more, you're going to sell more, you're going to email more, you're going to give more. This is something that, I still do this, but I only work 20, 25 hours a week. So I'm able to do that and maintain anywhere between 25 and 40,000 a month give or take. Depends on my goals. It depends on like what I'm shooting for. But I only work about 20 to 25 hours a week. It's very rare that I work 30 hours. It's very rare. I typically don't even work every day. So, I mean, Fridays are like almost null and void. And Mondays are total creation days. So it's really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are like my 3 big working days. And I work maybe, 20 to 25 hours on average a week. So, the way that I've been able to increase my frequency is delegation, and obviously automation and doing more leveraged opportunities. I automate a lot of my social media. My team does a lot of stuff for me. I have upsells on thank you pages, and we'll talk about that in your recommendations. I have funnels, so email things are happening. That stuff is all set up, so I don't have to do too much other than create all my content and then get it out there through automation and team. And then the little bit that I'm doing is more so the collaboration and the relationship building pieces, and then just serving my clients, right? So here you want to include a call to action in every single piece of content that you put out. It doesn't mean that it needs to be like buy this, but it could be, hey, come click here and join this free training I have coming up. Or, hey, come join my Facebook group. Or, hey, come like my business page where I go live. Or it could be, hey, book this complimentary 30-minute call with me. Or, hey, check out this program. Like the call to action, I mean, it can even be, hey, come check out this week's blog post. But I just want you to build a muscle and a habit of every piece of content you put out via email, social media, whatever it is. I think that you need to put a call to action if you're not already, because people are going to come across these emails and these posts at different times now and months to come. And so you don't want to miss any opportunity of training your community and telling them like, hey, this is what I want you to do, right? So if you do a Facebook Live, make sure there's a link to a downloadable PDF, or make sure there's a link in the comments to book a call with you, or to check out your sales page. Like every single thing, just have some sort of like little call to action. And again, it doesn't have to be a paid, it can be a simple little free ask, but start to build the habit that everything you do needs to have a call to action, so that no matter when somebody comes across that piece of content, they can somehow take an action and connect with you. The next thing is to send out more emails each week to your list. And then, of course, include step 1, which is the call to action. So, we're playing around with some new things this year, my team and I. We're testing a few things. We've gone from sending 1 email every week way back in the day, and then we did 2 emails a week for years, very consistently. And then I went into an email every day, and then we stopped doing that, even though it was working. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was a lot more effort on my end, and the results weren't really all that worth it. So now we're focused more on not so much selling in our emails, but more inviting them to a free PDF or a free training. And then through that free value piece of content, we're going to ask them to take an action. So instead of sending out like straight up promotional emails, we're sending less emails, but we're sending more valuable emails that are going to hopefully get us even more open click-through rates and sales at the end of the day. So we're positioning everything through value, because people are getting really tired of any type of sales email or sales post, for that matter. So again, we just have to up our value. We have to up our intentions and strategy. So, depending on how many emails you're sending now, you could maybe send 1 more a week, or just look at what you're sending and making sure that it is actually really valuable. So one of the strategies we're going to be doing is the body of the email is going to be pure value, pure content, just straight up story, value, nugget, steps, stuff like that, really good stuff. And then at the in the PS section, we're going to invite them to something, whether it be paid or not. And you know, we will have an email that will go out during lunchtime that will be promotional. We will send a promotional email at times, for sure. That's absolutely going to happen. But 90% of our marketing, email marketing efforts and our social media efforts are going to turn towards selling through our value content. So we're going to up that. And that is mostly, you know, because the straight up promo stuff is just not working in this industry anymore. Definitely it's a no-go on social media. So we're just trying to follow the trend right now. So a little tip there. Okay, then the next thing is to show up more online. So this is a part that, you know, I've had to adjust a lot of our schedule for this year compared to what it's been for the past like 4 years, because Facebook is requiring people to show up live at least a couple of times a week, and that you have to not only show up live, but get your people engaging. And that's going to increase, that's going to have Facebook say, okay, I guess I'm going to help you share this out and help you promote, you know, get this up promoted to the top of the page, because you're showing up a lot and people are really loving it and they're engaging, and that's what we want to see. And so part of our strategy for this year, to just follow this trend and be able to stay in the industry, is going to be that we have to, again, up our value. So we have to show up more than what we've had to in the past 3 or 4 years, because just traditional post or memes or promotional stuff is just not going to work this year. Facebook is not going to actually be showing anybody's promotional stuff without you paying for it through ads or boosting your posts. So they're just getting really strict and kind of buckling down on that. So you know, it's going to be really planning out your lives or your webinars, and making sure that you give people time to show up live and be there, and then you manufacture engagement, get them engaging on those so that you can get it up to the top. So lots of likes, hearts, comments, you know, things like that happening on those lives is going to increase all of that, and Facebook will support you in getting it out there. If that's not happening, nobody's going to see it, because Facebook for free will no longer support with boosting that up and getting people to see it. So, you know, it's going to make it a little bit harder, but it's always going to just come back to giving value versus trying to sell. So serve over selling. So I would recommend that however many lives you do a week now, to up it. Or make the ones that you're doing more engaged. Get the people on there, doing all sorts of little actions, really boosting that up. And again, it's going to come back to getting that email list really engaged so that you can get them to that Facebook Live, or the webinar. And those are really my two most recommended strategies. Is well, three: Facebook Live, sales calls, Facebook Lives, and live webinars, not recorded. If they are pre-recorded or automated, you can put them in a sales funnel. But to build your list and to get some fast sales, live webinars. Those are going to be the most important things that you're doing. And if you're using social media to drive that traffic, then you have to be doing lots of posts and engagement on social media. Okay. The other thing is to do more sales calls, ask for the sale more often, increase your outreach activities, and just general promote more. Not necessarily promote paid stuff, but just promote more. Like, be asking people to take more actions, even if it's just a bunch of free stuff. Just start to train people that when you post something, you want them to click, you want them to check something out, you want them to comment, you want them to engage. Like, start to train people to do more of that. So here's my recommendations for you, just based on all of this stuff. So the first recommendation, and I'll go through all of these, but the first recommendation that I have for you is that you know, you have really great, like really good, I mean, open and close rates. I know some of it is based on specific type stuff, but your average open and click-through rates are really good. So I recommend that you increase your frequency right away. So what that looks like is that I want you to send more emails. I want you to invite people to a call with you more than what you're doing right now. I want you to use more call to actions in your content, like we just talked about. And I want you to make it a really high priority to connect even more with your email list and get them on a call with you. I want that to be a huge priority, okay? I also recommend that you do more sales calls than anything. Okay, like in terms of all of your call to actions, I think that I want you to make a huge focus for those call to actions to be a call with you, because these are really good for high ticket offers, right? These sales calls are the fastest, above all, the fastest, easiest way for you to get a yes and to get people enrolled, especially into a high ticket offer. Low ticket offers can go to a sales page. High ticket offers, a call with you. And this is how you can fill those last few spots in your one-on-one. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but definitely more sales calls. The other thing too is you could do a live webinar. I like to do like once a quarter, I like to do a big live webinar. So I'll spend 2 months building up my list and just getting people excited for a webinar. And then, right before the webinar, like a few weeks or a month before the webinar, I get as many people on that email, on that list for that webinar as possible. And then I send so many emails and workbooks and reminders throughout that time to keep them super excited. I'm sending emails with like tips and strategies, quick little like mini action steps, just to keep people engaged and super excited about the webinar, so that I can get as many live people on it as possible. And then that increases your close. And then anyone that does not buy right from the live webinar, then you have a series of emails that go out for 5-10 days that are just really trying to get them into either a call with you or get them into the program, right? And so, maybe giving yourself a little more time to fill a program or to hit a money goal is a good idea. So I used to do launches just like a few weeks. I'd give myself just a couple weeks. That works for the most part for me at this point. But there's some things where I'm like, I have a really big goal. Like I want a lot of people, I want a lot of money from this, a lot of sales. So sometimes when that's the case, I have to give my team and I a little bit longer to make that happen. So sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's just 4 weeks, sometimes it's a month and a half. And it really depends on how many people, how many sales we're trying to get, like what results are we trying to get, that sometimes we've got to give ourselves a little more time. So planning this out and then making sure that's what you're focusing on during that time. The other one is to up your collaborations even more than what you're doing. So I know you're already doing this, and we're going to up it even more. We're going to be starting in February. We're going to be doing the list building workshops. So you'll get some support with that there. But like you're already doing some of this, and I suggest you try, like, don't turn things down. Try to do as much as you can. This is going to support that list growth goals that you have. Just be sure the opportunities are targeted to your ideal traffic. So making sure that the people you collaborate with, they actually have your ideal clients in their community, because if not, you're just going to build a list of people that are not buyers. Okay. My thought is, like, just based on my experience in the past like 12 years, 13 years actually, of doing collaborations, is that if you do 1 to 2 big collaborations, you'll definitely hit your goal of 5,000 people on your email list. And then you just need to make sure you nurture those people. So if you do 1 to 2, like participate in like 1 or 2 giveaways or telesummits or something like that, where there's a bunch of other collaborators, 1 or 2 of those can get you to that 5,000. I mean, I get way more than that typically, but I'm also doing this with like 7+ figure earners. And I do them a lot. Like I'm doing 1 to 2 of these per quarter. And then once a year, I launch my own. So I do a lot of collaborations, and that doesn't even include my publicity. That's just collaborations. And that this has allowed me to not have to invest in Facebook ads. I do not have to ever do that. I've been able to use collaborations and then engagement on social media as my 2 big things, and that has done that for me. Okay, the other thing, I know you want to get to that 80% close, right? So follow the conversation to close system to the T on every single call. If you do that, and you're speaking obviously to the right people, then this is going to increase your conversions. Okay, that's good. This system will get you to that 80% close that you're looking for if you follow it to the T, speak to the right people, and then give position 3 offers. Okay, if you do those 3 things and you do them really well every single time, you will get to a minimum of 80% close. I mean, I'm holding 100% now for over 9 months. And I was about a 95 to a 98% before that. Okay. Also, this is possible if you follow that system. Like, I just want to let you know, like, you could totally do this. You've got a lot going for you already, so you can make this happen. Just be sure that you're getting buyers on the phone, because that is obviously going to dictate how these sales go. Now, the next thing here with this is the next recommendation I have is that I think you should put a ton of focus on booking calls with your email list, with affiliates, current clients, past buyers, as well as any of those hot leads that you were thinking could be a possible fit. So basically, using like my cash injection strategies, I think that you should tap into this hot traffic and start to fill your calendar up. Because at this point in the game, with like where you're at and your opening click-through rates, the fact that you have some hot traffic, and the fact that you're already doing collaborations and stuff, you don't really have to spend like a super ton amount of time in like other people's Facebook groups in order for you to hit 10K months. I'm not saying like not to be on social media. I'm just saying like you don't actually, like, with your stats and stuff, like you don't really have to be doing that. You could be doing more sales calls, collaborations, outreach with hot leads, like using the cash injection strategies, and you'll probably hit more than your 10K mark. So again, faster, easier, less effort, working smarter, not harder. I think that should be a big focus for you. Okay, another recommendation is I would put more focus on some leveraged opportunities to hit that 10K month mark. And actually, once you do that, I would recommend you continue doing more leveraged opportunities versus one-on-one. So what I would say is, well, here's the thing. I think that 10K months it's a good goal for you, but I just think it's plain small for you specifically. These are just your recommendations, but I think for you, 10K month is plain small. I mean, you're out there, you're already being positioned as an expert, you're already getting publicity and some collaborations. You have, your people are engaged. You're already taking like bigger type of actions in your business, and so you should be getting bigger results. So my thought is that you should be getting to the 15, 20K month mark. But I think 10K is an okay goal to start with. You're going to notice once you hit that, you'll see what I mean, that it's still playing small. You'll be ready for that, 15, 20K mark. Okay, so I would like to see that you get 20 to 30 people in your group program, and you can increase the price if you want. You can lower the price. You can do whatever you want with that. It's a leveraged program, so you have space to lower the price point if it means that you can get more people, because that's just a leveraged opportunity. And I think you should focus less on that one-on-one. So what I would recommend is that you increase the price of your one-on-one program, okay? So that it's not for everybody. Your one-on-one program should not be for people that can afford it, right? Meaning that we're not going to give them that level of support and access to you and price it lower so they can afford it. You want your high earners, your high achievers, your overachievers. You want the ideal people in the one-on-one program. The people that are more financially strapped or maybe need something more affordable, that's what a group program is great for. It gives them that kind of jump start, right? So your one-on-one program should be priced higher so that you don't need very many sales to make good money with your one-on-one. It is a high-level program. It is complete access to you. Not many coaches are offering this level of service anymore, so that gives you an advantage. You need to up the price, and then you need less sales. And then while you're doing that, you can also focus on getting people into your group program. So less one-on-one calls for you, okay? Just maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 clients a month. That's it, if that. 2 or 3, right? Like, you don't need a lot of those. Up the price, and then you need less of those. And then focus more on your leveraged programs. Focus more on the group programs, having launches and filling those. Focus more on getting some upsells on your thank you pages and inside your email funnels, and we'll talk about that too, okay? Okay, the other thing is to be sure to nurture your list like you're a crazy person. You cannot nurture too much. You cannot give too much value. You can't show up too much if you're nurturing and giving value and supporting people. So I want you to up how you're nurturing, especially if you're doing the collaborations. When we do collaborations, these are people that are coming from all sorts of people's lists and from different walks of life, and so they're probably entering your space, your brand for like the first time, right? So these folks have to be nurtured from the very second they open your email. And so what I recommend is that you take my emails that activate buyers email sequence, also known as my indoctrination sequence, and set that up. And when someone new, because that indoc sequence is only for new subscribers, they go through it one time, right? So when someone new enters your list, you give them your freebie immediately, and then right away add them to that indoc sequence so that you can start activating those people as buyers through some good nurture. And you can set all this up on automation. I would recommend you delegate a lot of this out. I know that you are into doing that and you know that. So I think you should not be doing this yourself just because it's time consuming, but you could have someone start setting this up for you and automating this while you're doing and booking sales calls. Okay, the next thing is to start adding some upsell or tripwires to your funnels. So what I would do is your thank you pages should have maybe like an upsell, so a $27 offer on them, and make sure that that $27 offer will later effortlessly lead them to either a call with you or into one of your programs. Make it be that first step, working backwards from your program. What's that first step? And have that that freebie or that $27 offer, that low ticket, that upsell, have that be like a lead in to a call with you or one of your programs where that's their next logical step. I would have that on your thank you pages, and you can have more than one type of funnel for this, right? Each offer, each $27 offer might lead into a different type of offer, right? That's fine, or you can start with one. Also include like some flash sales or some early bird specials inside your indoctrination sequence. So right now my indoc sequence doesn't really have that big old upsell, right, where we're doing that, but we're changing that. My team is working on starting with the very third email that they get in that indoctrination sequence. We're going to start to do a little flash sale. We're going to have like an upsell, an offer that's only going to be available for a limited amount of time at a price that it'll never be offered again. And we're going to be activating buyers that way, but also getting some sales back. So, or getting some sales in the door. Okay, so once I update that indoctrination sequence, you'll get access to that, which will be pitching either we could call it a tripwire, an upsell, flash sale, whatever. Okay, so once your indoctrination sequence ends, there's one of two things that are going to happen. Either one, they're going to enter a sales sequence, right? So you're going to try to get them to start buying something, or you're going to put them into a nurture sequence because they're not ready to buy and they need to continue to be engaged. That's what should be happening from the indoctrination sequence. Okay, the other recommendation is for you to focus more on the strategies that seem to be working the best for you and that let go of other things to free up some of your time. So if you're working 30 to 40 hours a week, I'm kind of wondering like, wow, you must be doing a lot of things. So what things are not working or what things aren't working that great? What can we start taking off your plate? Because I want you focusing on these activities more than what you're doing now, because these things will get you that'll cut your hours in time each week. And it's also going to minimize the effort that you have to put in, but it's going to increase your sales. It's going to maximize your results. So kind of look at what are you doing right now and ask yourself, is this the fastest, easiest way to make this goal happen? And look at the strategies and say, okay, are these strategies working for me? And I would really lower to 2 to 3 strategies that you're focusing on. Like I do social media collaboration sales calls, right? Or I do social media collaborations, and I do a lot of like leveraged opportunities. So group programs, courses inside automated funnels, upsells on thank you pages that then lead into automated sales funnels. So start to kind of think about, for 2018, what does this need to look like for me to hit these goals without, having to work 30, 40 hours a week, which you should not be doing. Okay. Another recommendation is to do some interviews with clients and some past buyers, and then start to share that online and in your email. It's always great to talk about our results, like what we've been doing and what's happening for us, what's working for us. But it's really nice too to kind of showcase your clients. It's good for them. It's good for your people. It's good for you. And then you can start to even auto schedule inside like a social media scheduler some client testimonials with some little call to actions inside them, right? Just to increase your authority, your social proof, but also just to kind of be a great way to lead in to getting those people to take some action and click, okay? I would increase follow-up. I'm a big one on this. I want you to do this all the time with every single lead that comes your way, okay? Like don't leave a single lead out. So follow-ups are going to increase your revenue, because for us here at Sell Like a Rebel, when we do follow-up every week, because I do follow-ups on Fridays, I do them, my team does them, either way they're being done, and it increases Sell Like a Rebel's revenue by 80% consistently. If we do follow up every Friday, which we do, our revenue for Sell Like a Rebel increases by 80% consistently every time. So follow up is not something you want to be leaving on the table. It should be part of your strategy. You should be doing it in automated emails. You should be doing it manually. You should have people doing it for you. Like, however it has to be done, it's got to be done. And like I said, I have every week we do it. Every Friday is like big follow-up day here at Sell Like a Rebel. So don't let a single lead get away. Okay, this includes people who open your emails, but they don't click. They click, but they don't buy. People that buy, upsell them into another offer. When they buy something, on that thank you page or that confirmation page, have another offer. In your email funnels, have another offer. People will continue to buy as long as it's congruent and it's a next step and it complements, or it's going to maximize what they're already doing with you. People who are engaged online, but they're not booking a call with you, they're not taking any actions. People that are just showing up a lot and you think they could be a good fit. People that join your free stuff, but then they're MIA. Go back 6 or 7, maybe 9 months on your calendar and follow up with leads that did not convert. Reach out to anyone that you have met through any events or networking, upsell to past buyers, and then get affiliates on board. These are all of the different ways that you can really maximize follow-up. And again, it should be part of your weekly strategy. Okay, so action steps and focuses. Some of it is in the recommendations there, but let's just do a quick rundown. I want you to review your email strategy. Make sure that you have your leads, your people, your subscribers being properly funneled, tagged, and segmented to ensure that you're giving them and doing the highest nurture strategy possible. And I want you to set up a schedule to email them more than what you're doing now, or just make sure that it's got more call to actions, but do it through good value. So really good value and then a little call to action at the end, right? Or a little call to actions throughout the email, but make it really juicy, valuable. And then follow up like crazy with each and every single one of them. You have a lot of trainings, you mentioned that, so I think that you need to monetize those. If you've created a lot of trainings and you have that, I think you need to make money from that, or it's a lost effort. So I would recommend you get some small asks on your thank you pages, so like $27 offers, and they can be anything from like $7 to $27. $47 is okay, but it does not convert as good as $27. So I would say from $7 to $27, get those on the thank you pages. Get them in your email sequences right away, so you can start activating buyers. And what I would suggest is that you map out what you want this to look like and then delegate it out. Have somebody else set this up for you. Just give them like a visual or a rundown of what you want to happen, what you want it to look like, and then give it to them to do. And I would recommend using the activation emails that activate buyers, the indoctrination sequence. It's in the portal. I would recommend using that, but around the 3rd email, I want you to start promoting something. And again, I'm going to update that. My team and I are going to be updating that sequence, so you'll get a fresh update of that, okay? So sit tight for that. Okay, so once you finish these collaborations that you're doing, I want you to really nurture them, okay? And then launch your group program to them. Maybe do like an early bird pricing or some fast action bonuses. But I want you to right now start planting seeds and building up a wait list for that program. Okay. I don't want you to wait until you're like in the middle of trying to fill it to start telling people about it. So you want to start getting people excited, planting some seeds, do some follow up, have some sales calls, start to funnel people into a wait list. If they want to put a deposit down now, they can. Remember, the earlier people take action, the better price they get and the more bonuses they get. So you could even do, just like if they sign up early, just to give them something to do in the meantime, you could do a little mini VIP session with them or something like that, right? Or you could give them access to one of your other trainings as a bonus to kind of give them something to do and to fast track while they wait. Okay. But I think let's start right now, planting the seed, getting people into a wait list, getting people ready for this group program. And then once you build up your list through your collaborations, nurture the shit out of them, and then have that lead, those emails lead into getting them into the group program and early bird price. Okay. So plan to spend an entire month just interviewing some past clients, sharing some testimonials online via email. I want you to up everything right now to fill that group program. This is going to be that leveraged opportunity. It'll be some recurrent income, and you can get a couple of people into a higher one-on-one program while you're doing this, okay? Consider it like a pre-launch mode. We'll be doing a launch in April right after we do the list building workshop. I'm going to do a launch workshop for you guys, but you have what you need in place right now to just do this, so I don't think you should wait until then. I also think that if you really wanted to go big, you could start to get some affiliates on board to help you promote and launch and fill this program, if you feel like that's something you'd want to do. Okay, so using cash injections, you can start to use those strategies with your hot leads to start filling up your calendar. You can book out your one-on-one. I mean, literally, you could do that by like the first or second week of February. You can have those people, maybe even before, but you could have your one-on-one, increase the price, lower the amount of people you need, and you could have that handled, done, squashed by like the first or second week of February. Then you can just focus on this group program. And you'll have those people in your one-on-one. I don't think you need to have it a lower price and have a lot of people in it. That's a lot of work, and you just don't need to do that. So we want to focus the 90% of our time on more leveraged group opportunity, and then just up the price of the one-on-one, so you only need like a couple, 2-3 people in it. And start doing the follow-up strategies to kind of make all this happen. Get these people on the phone. That way you can customize where you think they should go. Should they go on a wait list, get ready for the group program? Should they do like a mini session with you or VIP? Should they be in the one-on-one? And make it happen. You start doing this and all of this is just going to fall into place. The people that don't become one-on-one, if you get on the phone with them, get them on the wait list for your group program. Don't let a single lead fall through the cracks. Okay, and then master the conversation to close. I know you've already done it. You participated in my booked workshop, and we personally gave you feedback on your sales calls. We practiced them with your buddy partner at the time. So I know you know this system, and you're probably doing pretty well with it. But let's get you to the 80%. If you're using this system and you're using it every time, to a T, right in the order it's in, you're getting the right people on the call, you're presenting 3 offers, you should absolutely, hands down, be closing 80%. So let's see what the gap is. Let's get you to that 80%. Again, you will have to have less sales because you'll be closing more of the people that you're booking right now and speaking to. Okay, so those are my recommendations for you. Those are the action steps. These are the stats. This is what's possible. This is what we have to work with. Let's go ahead and get started with this. What I want you to do is take this feedback, take these action steps, these recommendations, and I want you to start plugging this into your daily and your weekly activities. So when we do our daily and weekly goals and accountability inside the mastermind group, I want to see these types of things happen, and these should be the core focuses. And this is going to help you to make sure that what you're doing every day and week is actually leading you to these results right here that you said you wanted. Okay, so these are the things that we need to be doing to get these results here. And I think you're going to find them amazing because it's going to minimize how much you have to work, and it's going to maximize the results you get. I think you'll get more than what you're actually asking for. So let me know if you have any questions or thoughts, or if we need to make any adjustments.